This is Francamente, the podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for listening. And without further ado, let's bias your football content. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Francamente, the podcast. I'm so excited to be here. I just said that in the opening. Why am I re-saying it? Times are weird, man. Times are weird. Everything's a dumpster fire. Everything is shit. There's sirens going off. We'll probably not be able to edit that out. It's insane. The world is not a great place to be. Everything's kind of in shambles. And so we're just going to try to get through this. All right. We're just going to try to get through this. I am wearing a kit today that is like a special edition Argentina tribute kit to when they won the World Cup. It has 3 stars. It has the sun logo. The stripes on it, if you're watching on YouTube, have like the gaucho print. It's really, really cute. It's by one of the small manufacturers. I'm not going to mention them because they're actually not good people. If you know, you know. But this kit is, it was a tribute. It was like, World Cup like fever hit, and I just had to get it. I've had a couple of their kits from before I knew that they were terrible people, but I digress. But it's cute. It's cute. I'm kind of like back in like the Argentina winning the World Cup vibes. I wanted something, a little bit different. And so I'll say it was nicer in the pictures though than when I got it. I was a little disappointed when I got it, but the gold isn't really gold. It's like a weird like mustard, but it's a kit. It is what it is, right? Send me a private message, send me a DM, and I'll tell you what the drama is with these with this company. And today, actually, appropriately, because everything's a dumpster fire, because everything is shit, and because everyone sucks, we're gonna talk about something superficial and fun, so that we don't add to the dread that is human existence these days. And we're talking kits. We're going to talk kits. I have an article on my website, www.realfrancamente.com, called Kit Girl Summer. It's hashtag Kit Girl Summer. The title is hashtag Kit Girl Summer, a hashtag that gave me life. Stop saying hashtag. And there's a bunch of pictures in it. Check it out. I'll put it in the show notes. By I mean my producer will put it in the show notes. And it's a cute article. And based on this article, I wrote a proposal for another magazine, but it ended up not working out, but I'll probably end up writing that one too, because there's actually a lot to analyze here. It's not as superficial of a topic as obvious. I mean, it's Real Francamente. Like, you didn't think I was just going to talk kits and colors. Like, come on, you couldn't think that. There's actually a lot more to this, right? In terms of like how we can analyze this whole concept of like fashion and what kits mean and collecting and all of that stuff. But in my Kit Girl Summer article, I've got lots of cute pictures of like some of my favorite kits at the time. I think the article is like 2 years old at this point. I don't know what time is these days, or maybe I wrote it. I think I might have written it maybe even 2020, 2021. I don't remember. But kits have always been a really, really important part of my life. While it's also true that for a long time of my life, my childhood, and kits were unaffordable, right? And so what did it mean to have a kit, for example, in Uruguay, or even as a kid, a working class family kid in the United States, and as a child, versus what it means now to be able to own kits, right? So like how you cherish them, how you take care of them. We're going to get into all of it. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the recent kit drops. We've already been seeing some of the kits dropped for 2023, 2024. And we're just going to have some fun. This will be a lighter episode because everything is shit. Everyone is shit. I've been having panic attacks, y'all. And I just want to keep it light. I want to keep it fun, but I'm not going to leave you without my usual analysis, in some way, right? I'm a little sun-kissed. If you're watching on YouTube, I have like red. I've been at the beach. I'm a mermaid and my happy place is the beach. And so I'm a little bit sunburned, so you can see it. If you're not watching on YouTube, disregard. Let's start by talking about the kit drops. Let's start with our topical, moment and what's going on there. So one of the tying threads, this is going to be talking about Arsenal kits. I'm going to talk about Arsenal kits later. I'm Arsenal adjacent, as y'all know. Arsenal gets roasted for basically by Arsenal fans included. Like, not, this isn't like Arsenal fans will do this too. It's become a streetwear brand that also happens to have a football team, right? But all joking aside, their kits have been on point for a couple years now. There's one, I think I put it in my Kit Girl Summer article. Let me see. Let me. I had it. Anyway, it's the Arsenal kit from 2020. I believe that was the dark blue with like a lime green, and that was the first kit in years, the first Arsenal kit in years for me that I thought was so sexy that I wore it. And me, and like a literal United fan, right? Wearing an Arsenal kit. What is that? It's because it was so sexy, right? And I care about aesthetic. And I just, Arsenal adjacent. Let me see if it's in here. Because that was a really cute one. No, it's not in there. I'll have to repost the pic. Since then, they've had some other sexy kits. I love their current. I wore it one of the episodes this season, one of my podcast episodes since this podcast exists. And it's the black and rose gold. I mean, like that and I am a sucker for a black kit, black on black. Like there's a gorgeous kit I love in my collection. I haven't worn it yet. Which is the special edition 120th anniversary Borussia Mönchengladbach kit that is like just gorgeous. I have a famous photo shoot by the New York skyline. It's just gorgeous. I love that kit, and just it's so classy, right? Like that Arsenal kit, the black and rose gold one. I feel like I'm gonna love it forever. It's a classic. It's classy. It's like it's so gorgeous. And so I would say that kits fall into two categories. Like, one is like sentimental or like loyalty, right? Like you like a kit because it's like your club's home kit, but nothing about it is sexy. Like I would say that is Arsenal's home kits for me. I mean, even United's home kits for me are usually boring, right? But like the second that Arsenal started to have those like second and third like alternate color ones, like I don't even like the bruised banana ones. I know I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I don't owe anyone anything, but I know people feel very strongly about those. I just don't like them. But when they started to do all these like alternative color ones, like, okay, that's when they started to go crazy. So Arsenal, we can expect some good ones. Although the away kit that's leaked, that is like it's an electric lime with like lines on it. Like, I don't know. I don't know how long it's been, like 2 or 3 years consistently that Arsenal has had the sexiest kits, right? In Premier League, let's say. And so I think how long could they keep that title up, right? Like, are they going to be dethroned this year? I don't know, because I haven't seen anything super impressive from them. But it's crazy how Adidas will put in resources for certain clubs and not others, right? Like they could be making all of the kits sexy. Let's not talk about the abomination that Adidas committed with some of those MLS away kits that include, especially the Red Bull's P kit, right? Or whatever, like the moldy cheese kit. Like that's disgusting. Who makes those decisions, right? Another thing that we could definitely go down a rabbit hole about. So I haven't seen anything impressive about Arsenal. Ironically, the two kits I've liked the most so far that have been leaked are two smaller teams, Brentford, and I think it's Fulham, that has another like really interesting one that when I first saw it, I was like, oh, is this United? It's not United. It was Fulham. So Brentford has some pretty cute, sleek home kits that dropped. Check those out if you haven't. I mean, it just has like a little fading situation I really like. I refuse to acknowledge that Chelsea may have something with their third kit, which is kind of cute with the mint green, but we're not acknowledging that at the moment. Thank you in advance for your assistance with this matter. But Fulham has that one that I'm sure it's a template and we'll see it with other teams, but they have the sleeves. So it's the Adidas like sleeves, right? And on the one side it's red and on the other side it's white and on a black, like kind of like shoulder piece. Interesting, because Fulham's kits are always boring and ugly, right? I hate a white kit. I hate, as much as I love a black kit, I hate a white kit. First of all, they get so dirty. It's not conducive to playing football on grass. Like they come out and like they're so dirty and like they're just boring and plain. And probably because the teams that play in white I really hate, like Real Madrid, you know. So I'm not partial to a white kit. So adding that shoulder piece for Fulham, I think, was definitely the move. What the hell did Liverpool do? They just copied Argentina for their third kit. They copied Argentina's away purple World Cup kit. The fuck? I will not be supporting that. I mean, I hate that team anyway, but no thank you on that. What else have we seen? United, I haven't liked a home United kit. I mean, one thing about me, what do I hate in a kit? I hate a collar. I hate a collared kit. First of all, it can't be comfortable to play in. It's ugly. I know people look for collared kits. They think it's classy. It's not fucking classy. It's not a polo. Like a kit should be sleek and minimalist, in my opinion, in terms of the like cut and design and like style of the actual kit, right? And then we get into colors and aesthetic and whatever. But I hate a kit with a collar. So I'm really glad that United did away with that. Because that year was disgusting. I mean, okay, it's all right. You know what? Upon closer look, yeah, I might get this one. I like it. It's sleek. It actually has like a design in it that you don't notice at first because when the picture's small, but it's got like the roses. And it like in like red on red, right? Like detail. And I love that. I love that. Yeah. And they have the stripe going down. Okay. Yes, I will be purchasing this kit probably. It's nice. It's the nicest one I've seen in years. I've liked a couple, like the United, the pink kit that United had a couple years ago. That's still one of my favorite United kit. Well, it is my favorite United kit ever for obvious reasons. I love pink and it matches my whole aesthetic and vibe. And then the black one with like the like neon red details, those two are like my favorite kits. I am partial to a second and third kit. I'm partial to a second and third kit because it like stands out. Like everyone's there. First of all, I was one of the Twitter accounts. I forget which one it is. It's one of the ones that does like a lot of stats, but this one's like specifically kit related. They did like a data presentation, and it wasn't a chart. It was like, it looked really cool about how many teams in the world wear certain colors, like how many teams wear red, how many teams wear blue. And like, they had like all the little kits and like how many teams wear red. There's so many, right? Like you see a red kit and unless you're very, very in the know, or you're like really like a fan of the league, like you don't know what team it is until you get up very close. So I love a third kit because it stands out, right? It's cool. It's cool. What the hell? Another team that copied Argentina. I mean, I guess this is what happens when you are world champion, right? Another team that copied Argentina is Nottingham Forest. It looks like now some of these are leaks, so I don't know. Sometimes the leaks turn out to be fakes. But if that's true, then why are you doing this? So those are some of the English teams that stand out to me. I haven't really seen anything. Barcelona staying pretty close to standard. I haven't seen anything that's made me go, oh my God, I must have that, right? There's a Barcelona third kit that's bluish, like mint green. I don't know. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with anything else I've seen. I haven't seen anything pink. Like, why are we abandoning the best color? Let me see. Real Sociedad kind of looks a little bit like the leaked Nottingham Forest kit with like the curves. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that's made me go, oh my God. Roma's kit is always classy. I like a Roma kit. I like, obviously, that's the thing, right? There's reasons to like kits that have to do with aesthetic, and there's reasons to like kits that have to do with your loyalty to a club or to your country, right? And that's where we kind of go like, okay, which one is it? Do we like a kit truly? I have to like frequently ask myself this question, like, do we like a kit because because that's my team, or can I really look at it and go, wow, another team that I can't stand that has turned into a lifestyle brand, but like really truly because they paired with, with Jordan and things like that, is PSG. And some of their stuff is really good. Like the kit that is like the pink and purple, the like neon pink and purple, like you can't deny that that's a sexy fucking kit, right? I just like, but like I can't get behind that because it's PSG. It's PSG. Like, no, thank you. So yeah, I haven't seen anything else that has made me go, oh my God, must have that. Some of the MLS kits, I talked about them earlier on in my MLS episode. Some of them are nice. Those like third kits that they're doing, like the tributes to the cities or whatever. But again, I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm trying to look through and see if anything else sticks out. It's just not, it's not impressive so far. Now we've got a while to go until, the season starts. And so we'll see what else comes. But unless someone comes out with something real sexy, like very pink or like very, impressive, I don't know. There's also something to be said about capitalism. Isn't there always? There's something to be said about capitalism and the need. And I will preface this, okay, by saying I'm a hypocrite. I admit it all the time. When I'm a hypocrite, right? There's something to be said about capitalism and the way that we need to every single year pump out 3 kits per team. At what? Because at this point, it's $120 a pop. You can't get a kit for less than that, really, right? And that's without a name, without like, it's getting ridiculous. And we're all complicit. I have a kit closet, okay, that's here to my right that maybe one day we'll do a tour of. Up to now, we're at episode 13. And I have not repeated, and I will not repeat in another probably at least 20 episodes or more. Like I don't know when I'll first repeat. Like that's how many. I have a lot of kits, right? Collection, from different, eras and years and whatever. But like, it's a lot of money. Now there are worse vices, I'll say that. But it's really worth analyzing that can we reel it in? I don't think we can at this point. It's past the point of no return. But every single year, every single team, most teams, let's say, at least in the big leagues, release at least 1, but most up to 3 kits, right? We've got a home, we've got an away, like a second kit, and then a third kit. And then people buy them, right? And then what happened the next year? It's older, and then a new one drops, and then you get the new one. Like I've never been a person that has to have every single kit every single year. Like I'll buy a kit if it has value to me, whether it's emotional, whether it's loyalty to my team, right? Or like whether it's something like special editions, like stuff like that. I still want to get my hands on the 3rd star kit, like the official 3rd star kit for from the World Cup. I have the warm-up I wore, I think, on my first episode of this podcast. The warm-up for Argentina that had the rainbow Adidas strips. I loved that one. So like, yeah, like I see a kid I love, I'll buy it. If I'm in the place where I can do that and spend that money. And I have not always been. But there, that is right. Like, what are we doing? What is the point? The point is to make money, right? And then we get into like wastefulness of like, do we really need that much synthetic material, right? Like now I'm a person that wears kits. Like I'll wear kits a lot. Wait, for years. I did my PhD, and while I was doing it, I had a fellowship where I taught a class per semester after my first year. And ever since then, every single Friday of my Spanish classes that I would teach was football Fridays. I made up football Fridays my first semester of teaching at Boston University, which was a very long time ago now. I think it was 2011 or 2012. And football Friday stuck around. It would be like a lesson around football that also had to do with whatever we were doing, grammar or vocab wise. And also I would wear a kit, and I would encourage students to wear kits if they wanted to too. And that was like really fun. And lots of students participated at BU. I tried to keep it going at the fascist college I worked at after that, and it did not really go over. No one even knew what football was. Like at that place, I had to explain one time to a student who asked how Messi could play for Barcelona and Argentina. So that's the level of football knowledge they had. It wasn't worth it. But like I would still wear kits on Fridays when I taught on Fridays. And then, so it's been a while, and I will just wear them. Like I'll wear them around. I think football, I think, is the one sport where the kits can double as regular everyday wear / athleisure, right? Look at some of the ridiculousness in US sports, like hockey wears fucking whole ass sweaters. Like who's going to wear that outside of like going to see your team, right? Baseball like has those weird like button up shits that you can't get away with wearing a baseball jersey outside of going like it doesn't happen, right? I love basketball, but like basketball's the same thing. You don't wear a basketball jersey around. I mean, there was an era where like, kids can get away with it. Like in middle school, that's like really all I wore is like Nick stuff. But then you don't see adults wearing jerseys. And my dad is the exception. He wears his Ewing jersey everywhere in the summer, but like, you just don't see it. But football, an NFL hand egg, I don't know. I mean, I guess some people wear them, but I just don't see it. But football, you see like in even there, I just saw a thread of this, but it's my favorite thing to do, like watching a show and finding like random spottings of kits, right? Like, there was an episode of, I think it was Ugly Betty, the US remake of it, where they had a Red Bulls kit one time. I freaked out. I remember I like took a picture, I posted. It's so fun. Like people wear kits, like you can wear them, you can wear it with your outfit, so it's like athleisure. And I think that's the one sport. So I think it is interesting that brands and teams are like kind of leaning into that aspect of making it like sleek and like something you can get away with wearing outside of the stadium, right? Because if we pay $120 for something and we're only going to wear it to the stadium, that's a problem, right? That's a problem. And so, yeah. So I don't know. Let's analyze ourselves a little bit with that like obsession with having to have every single last kit. As a kit collector, I can tell you, we have to always be self-reflecting, right? And on that note, let's go to break.
Hey, make sure to follow and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. And help us out by leaving a rating and review, and remember to share it with a friend. Don't forget to follow Franca on Twitter and Instagram at Francamente for the latest news. And lastly, please visit realfrancamente.com for bonus content, including articles, photos, and for more information about the podcast.
We're back. We are back. We're talking kits. We're talking fashion. We're doing a little bit of analysis. And I want to get into, again, some of my favorite kits. Again, we're kind of like looking at, this is in conjunction with this Kit Girl Summer article I wrote a few years ago that's on my website, where I post some of my favorites from that time. So interestingly, the article talks about how this kit thing really like took off for me during the pandemic when we had nothing better to do than sit around in kits and take selfies. And so I made Kit Girl Summer a hashtag, right? Hot Girl Summer was canceled the first summer of the pandemic because We couldn't go out. We couldn't be outside, right? We could not, I mean, literally we could be outside, but you get what I mean, right? Like we couldn't be partying. And so I changed it to Kit Girl Summer. And it was a hit. It was a hit hashtag on Twitter. And I would post pictures and I had a whole little thread. Check that out. I'm sure that's still findable. This was a time where we were meeting on Zoom. We were having lots of Zoom parties to watch MLS is back. Like shouts, MLS is back, baby. Shouts to that crew. Whoever's left of it. It was so fun though to like have these like little Zoom parties. No one had to be up for anything. We just like would stay up all night shooting the shit on Zoom and watching MLS sometimes, or we would wake up and like MLS is back was being played at like 9 a.m. And so we'd watch that. We had a whole gala one time. It was really, really fun. Some of those people turned out to be bad people, but it was fun while it lasted, right? But the point of that is that's when I started to be like, okay, we're on Zoom. I'm going to wear a different kit every time. And then I started to like take selfies in different lighting and outside on my porch and everything like that. And that's how Kit Girl Summer came to be. So the first one that really kicked it off for me, and this is one of the kits that's featured in this article, is a St. Pauli kit, actually, which I have. Now, the St. Pauli kit is an example of a kit I got because I love St. Pauli. St. Pauli is like the example of a team that lives their values, right? They don't even play in Bundesliga, but I think it's one of the most famous German teams, right? We can say that because they're famous for being anti-fascist, anti-Hitler, right? Like, and it now that has transformed into anti-racism, they're always standing on the right side of history. I think they're an example of a team to follow. Like when there's another team in another country that's like that, they refer to it as like, oh, they're like the St. Pauli of, right? And so like they've kind of like made this mark for themselves. So that was the first kit I posted for Kit Girl Summer, was the St. Pauli kit, which I was wearing while proctoring a final exam. Like I was exhausted. It was like the longest day. It was final. It was our first semester on Zoom. I'd never taught online before. It was a whole mess. And I kind of just like took a cute selfie, posted it. It was adorable. It started some, discourse. And then from there, it just took off. And so every time I would wear a kit, I would style it. Let's talk about styling kits too, right? Because here's the thing. Fashion is something that is typically associated with femininity, right? And the feminine. And as such, we have a very misogynist way of looking at and talking about fashion, and specifically talking about women in sports fashion. Okay. So when you go to a game, so women and non-men, we can't win. We can't win, right? If we do the tomboy thing, right, where we're just like, plain Jane, wear a kit and whatever, and like call it a day and get to the stadium, then it's this, and you're not feminine enough, and you get tested for your knowledge, and criticized for this, criticized for that. If you express yourself, and if you identify as as femme, and you express yourself and you style your kit, like I would go to this one is also in here, I think, maybe not. A picture of my Red Bulls home 2010 kit, Henri, and I always pair it with red lipstick. And sometimes I like do my hair in braids, or like I'll do like different things. Like you style the kit, right? Like if this is a passion of yours, a part of the fun is styling it in different ways, wearing it with different things, and different accessories. So then if you do that, then it's like, oh, then you're to this and to that, and like, why are you? That's not stadium wear and whatever. And it's like, how can we win? This is why actually doing something like Kit Girl Summer, aside from being cutesy, fun, and like you get to post a lot of selfies, is empowering. And it's like taking back that narrative. Like, no, I don't give a fuck if you men, cisgendered, straight men, right, think you own the sports world and you can like make these rules. Fuck off. Because I can probably school you on many, many things related to football, and probably many other sports too. But secondly, even if I couldn't, who gives a fuck? Why are we trying to gatekeep who can be a fan and who can't? And especially based on misogyny or racism or any of the other injustices. or homophobia, right? And so my red lipstick kits I wear with the Red Bulls. Also the Barcelona home kit, especially 16, 17, is a good one for red lipstick because it's got like sometimes they go more on the like pomegranate color side, the Blaugrana, the original Barcelona kit, but sometimes they go real red, and that's where you can really get away with a red lip. And so styling it's like a statement, right? You show up unapologetically girly. And if that's not my brand, right, for Real Francamente and also for Soliluna Consulting, like that's it's in your face girly because it also has substance, and your brain explodes as a misogynist when those two things coexist. And that's my favorite thing, is to make bigots' brains explode, right? When things that seemingly can't go together do. So I just love it. I love that Kit Girl Summer was such a thing. Of course, there was criticism, like people were like, oh, blah, blah, unserious. Like, no, fuck no. First of all, I have these kits sitting in the closet. We're in a pandemic. I'm going nowhere. What the fuck else am I going to do? Of course, I'm going to style them, wear them, post selfies in them. And then it became a thing like, what's the next kit going to be? And then lots of posers and haters tried to like copy shit like off me. Like I was the original, and like it's hilarious to see them fall flat on their faces. Like they tried to be like, oh, and you know, like get all their little misogynist, like, you know, lib like friends to jump on bandwagon. Nothing was ever as successful as Kit Girl Summer, and I just love that so much. But anyway, I digress. These are, so some of my favorite kits in this article. I have another Mönchengladbach kit, which was the 1920 away kit, which is Celeste. It's the baby blue. So I got it because, you know, it kind of like kills two birds with one stone. But my Mönchengladbach fandom is my newest one, like my most recent in terms of like actually committing to a team. I made that also like a funny thing during pandemic. I was like, oh, I'm pledging allegiance to a German team finally, because Bundesliga is not really it for me. I think it's kind of boring, like the same team wins every single year, and like it's just boring. But I love the social media of the Mönchengladbach team, and so I kind of like pledged allegiance to them. And I also have that other black on black kit that I didn't have at the time of this article yet, so it's not in there. I have 3 kits, or Uruguay and Argentina kits, that I posted here since I have acquired more / like, you know, just upped my collection. But those are like the Uruguay kit has such sentimental value to me. I love it so much. I'm obsessed with my country. But it's kind of boring, right? La Celeste. It's significant. It's historically significant, but it's like, all right, it's a little bit boring. And because Puma sucks and we're stuck with Puma. And this was a massive dramatic thing when I was in Uruguay for this, when Nike wanted to have the Uruguay kits, and because of like mafia and fucking corruption and the Uruguay, like the league, like the players wanted Nike. I mean, I don't like Nike. I prefer Adidas. Adidas kits to me are always superior no matter what. Like they always have been. Like Adidas is a football brand. Nike is bullshit capitalism, United Station bullshit, and Nike kits are always ugly. But they're definitely an upgrade from Puma. Puma's the worst. And Peñarol has Puma, and so does Uruguay. And Puma for Uruguay never does anything sexy. It's always boring as hell. And so the Uruguay kit is nice because I love it, because it's my country, but like boring. Like do something fun, you know? And then when they do something in like a second color or a third color, it's like it's uglier than the Celeste. So Argentina has been doing a lot more with their warm-ups and their second and you know, and third kits. There's a warm-up from 2014 that's posted in this article that I say still to this day one of my favorite Argentina kits to wear. It's a warm-up, but it was like modeled after the Maradona 1978 World Cup kit. It's like very classic, like vintage, you know, V-neck, like just it's just crisp. I love that warm-up. I wear it still so much. And then obviously the classic Argentina kit, always sexy. I have a Peñarol kit in there. Peñarol is the bumblebees, right? They are lately Puma's been doing a little bit more like kind of like outside the box stuff with it, but for the most part the classic Peñarol kit is it. Like it's the classic Peñarol kit, right? And I think those are the ones. There's a really one of my favorite kits of all time is the the Barcelona third kit from 2018, 2019, that was like the peachy, like neon, like pink on with darker pink, and it was like the street, the that diagonal street in Barcelona, which I'm now forgetting. It's a I'm forgetting. But it's like a nod to the city of Barcelona, and it's so sexy. And they even changed the crest color to be silver reflective, and also the Nike swoosh. And that kit I have with like the I'm gonna wear that one soon with the Champions League patch and everything, like, and it's messy. Like that kit is, it's like the Ferrari of kits. Like I got it all. It's got the Catalunya flag in the back. Oh my God. Check out Kit Girl Summer for that picture, the article. That's one of my favorite kits, even the sponsor. I hate sponsors. That's another thing about capitalism that ruins kits. And this is this is why I love the 2016-17 Barcelona home kit, because it didn't have a sponsor. There's another Boca kit. There's a Boca Juniors kit I really want to get still if I can get my hands on it. No sponsor. It was last year's regular plain home kit. So sexy. Sponsors ruin everything, right? They ruin a kit. They ruin the look of a kit. And I can especially speak to this with the fucking big ass Chevrolet logo on all of the Manchester United kits for years that had it, like to the point where it's like the Chevrolet thing took over like, no, people would see that before they even noticed it was a United kit. Like non-football fans would be like, oh, Chevrolet. Like they would think that was what I was wearing this shirt for. And so they just, I hate a sponsor. It's like the epitome of capitalism, and it ruins everything. So when we're able to A, get a sponsorless kit, or B, get the sponsor to at least agree to blend in with the colors like Rakuten did that year with the Barcelona third kit. It's that reflective silver. Like that kit is sexy. That is one of my favorite kits of all time for sure. That also happened with the Borussia kit, the 120 year anniversary black on black. The logo, everything's black. Everything is black on it. Even the Bundesliga patch, it's like raised, but it's black. And then the only thing is the white. It just says Borussia on the back. Another sexy ass kit. I think I hate a sponsor. I hate a sponsor, and it makes me hate kits when they're like, the sponsors are like so massive. And now we're getting, in some countries in South America, they have sponsors everywhere, sleeves, every single spot that you can. We don't have that yet in some of the major leagues, but I think it's coming. Another kit that's in this article that I love, that I still wear, is my Black Lives Matter United kit. That is number 10 for Rashford. I also have to say, though, that was a publicity stunt. The Black Lives Matters kits were all a publicity stunt. And I hate it. I hate that that's what it was, right? It was a publicity stunt. Nothing came of it. There was no justice. But at least it pisses off racists. So I got it and I wear it, and I still wear it. It's one of my faves. And yeah, and there's that component, right, of the way that we can talk about kits and fashion, and sometimes kits are the way that people get involved and people like start to like the sport. Don't we? We claim to want the sport to grow in popularity, but then we gatekeep the way people enjoy it. Which is it? Right? Which is it? And so I don't know. I think it's fun to talk about kits, to like collect them, like to trade. Like, wouldn't it be fun to have like a trade situation where it's like, you outgrow a kit, or you have something, that you like don't mind parting with, and then you could trade someone else. Like that would be so fun and like sustainable. I can't end this episode without talking about the one that got away, which is the kit that if I got my hands on it now, I think I would cry. And I've got pictures wearing it because I had it when I was a kid, and it is the first Metro Stars kit ever, 1996, the one with the zigzag, and it was half white, half black, because everyone associates Metro Stars with like the red and black stripes. Fine, but that was not the era. Like the first kit ever that Tab Ramos is wearing on the first ticket ever of the first Metro Stars game ever, which I also have that ticket. I was at that game. That kit, oh my God. And every so often one will land on like classicshirts.com or like one of those sites, and they cost like $300 now because there's no way. Original MLS, if it had one thing going for it with those long penalty kicks, right? Like the shootouts and all that stuff, like original MLS was so quirky. And I almost wish the US would embrace that personality more, because I feel like it would, like at this point, you know, like it's better than being inauthentic and looking to like Europe or whatever to copy. But yeah, that kit, oh my God, that first Metro Stars kit, if I ever got my hands on it, I think I would weep. And somehow it got lost. We don't have it anymore. Like, and you know, in childhood, that was unfortunately, I don't know if it got taken to donate or what, but somehow we no longer have that kit, and it's so sad. But yeah, that's the one that got away. Everyone's got one that got away, right? But yeah, I don't know. I think we should embrace our love for something that is considered, you know, traditionally superficial or too whatever, to this, too feminine, to that. Like, fashion's cool, kits are cool, and we should embrace those things about us as fans that make the world go round for us. Wearing a kit makes me happy. I'm going to do it unapologetically, right? And so with that, and on that note, I'll see you on the next one. Check out the article. And let me know what you think. Let me know what kits you like. Let me know which one that got away for you. Like, communicate with me. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you liked it. This has been Real Francamente, the podcast. My name is Franca. I'm your host. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Real Francamente on both. Check out our website, www.realfrancamente.com. You can find lots of content there, or contact us directly with any questions or comments. All links and ats will be in the show notes if you need them or want them, and for ease of not having to spell it yourself. Please subscribe on your favorite platform and maybe leave us a rating and a review if you like it, and share with your friends. Don't forget to buy us your football content. Gracias y ciao.